with the four-leaf clover on my breast, and the green and white upon my chest. It's such a joy for us to see, for they play football the Celtic way, for they play football the Celtic way, for they play football the Celtic way, 'cause they play football the Celtic way.
Absolutely loving that new intro. That was Michelle that done that, lads. That's the first time I've seen it on the pod, so well done, Michelle, who's hopefully going to be joining us in about half an hour or so. She's running late with a sort of little family issue she's got on at the minute with one of her pets. Our Andy as well is on the ferry on the way across to Ireland, so we're going to be missing our Andy tonight as well. But we've got the beautiful human being that is Patrick and the gorgeous Alec Baldwin look-alike for you as well, there, Jerry. So, Paddy, how are you doing, sir? How's your week been so far?
I'm doing good, Scotty. Put the disappointment of the weekend behind us. When you take stock of the entire season, last Saturday was an inconvenience, and I take a lot of credit and a lot of stock on what Brendan said. And that, it's easy to accept when you know yourself that you let yourself down in the big game. We didn't do enough to win the game. We didn't do enough at 1-0. So listen, it's gone, it's done, it's finished with, it's over. We're now into the close season, and it's all about getting ready to go again for next season. Yeah,
we were absolutely outstanding last pre-season. I think a guy who's going to need one is Daizen Maeda, as we've spoke about as well. Oh, there is Michelle there.
Yes.
She's in.
I just watched Luke came in, just shoved on jammies and jumped on. Hi.
Well, just saying, mate, thanks very much for that intro. That was absolutely superb.
Intro play, I missed it. Oh, I didn't know.
You've just missed it, mate. You've only missed a couple of minutes. I just said you were going to be about half an hour late, so welcome, Michelle. Michelle, how has the start of your week been, mate?
Yeah, good. I'm back at work kind of full time near enough now, so doing well. And it's good to know that we're still staying on over the summer and stuff. So, thanks. Still staying over in the summer to catch up in Celtic stuff. So I thought it would have been a kind of dying down, but it's been loads of gossip and Celtic chat this week, so which is good to hear.
Aye, that's one thing that we did put on the community chat. If you didn't see it, we were talking about going down to one podcast a week, but we thought we could squeeze it an hour. We're starting the last man standing segment tonight. We can get them on every single pod through the pre-season. Get our 4 Leaf Clover Podcast 11 started. Michelle's got quite a lot of new fancy segments as well that we're going to be putting on. She's got one tonight with a Who's That Player. So there's always plenty of Celtic talk. There's going to be loads of pre-season friendlies as well, which we've all got onto as well, that have been announced today also. So there's loads happening, Jerry. How are you, sir, after your weekend? I see that are you hiding that drip that you're wired to there, mate, just to get out your hangover for the weekend?
I don't get hangovers, Scott. I just think the next day, man. So I just go again. Tell you that. I was up, obviously, mate, Andy on Saturday. So disappointing day for us, but it was a good crack with Andy. We had a good day, mate, and I met his boy Michael. He kept calling his boy Liam all day. I don't know why. I just decided to call him Liam. And had a good day with Andy and his boy Michael. Then obviously I was back on the drink the Sunday watching my cousin Claire Dockey's charity game for she's got to Rwanda in Africa. She's going to teach the kids that to train and play football. So I was Scott Brown turned up for it. And Scott Brown was absolutely brilliant. That guy, him and Johnny Hayes turned up. Like Scott Brown spent about 2 hours after the game and did the move, signed everything for everybody, spoke to everybody. Then went in and get changed and went to social club for an hour, Scott. The guy was, honest to God, but brilliant. I've been a lot of that stuff and they grab their stuff and away they go, jump the car. Scott Brown, well played, mate. Brilliant. Phenomenal. So that was me, mate. Saturday and Sunday. Bit tender, but you know what? I'm ready to go again.
Superb, mate. Superb. And one of the things that the guys mentioned there was that game at the weekend. Myself, Paddy and Andy jumped on the post-match the day after, as Andy and Jerry were together at the Glencairn. Our Paddy was obviously at the game and our Michelle was working. So every day was busy, so we managed to jump on the next again day. Paddy, let's have a quick chat about it, mate. I know that maybe a lot of people don't want to go at it again, but it's just to give Jerry and Michelle their sort of say as well. Yeah. Is there anything that you sort of missed, mate, after the post-match show that you wanted to get off your chest?
Not really, Scott. It just reinforced really what we said after the post-match, and I'm glad that Brendan sort of came out today and yesterday and sort of, just really sort of reaffirmed what we had been saying, that, on the day, this is what it is. Cup finals are all about on the day. Aberdeen are not going to mind one iota that that Celtic had 84% or 85% of the possession in that game. They're not going to mind that one bit. A cup final is about taking the trophy home. That's all it's about. Nobody remembers who played well or didn't play well on the day of a cup final. To the thousands in Aberdeen that were greeting the team on the open top bus, that's not going to bother them one iota, as it wouldn't have bothered us if the shoe had been in another foot. So listen, it's gone. It's one of those games, as Jerry and me talked about before in the group chat. Anything can happen in these games. A one-off game. Now you've got so many other things. You've got VAR as well. There's so many things can come into one game. Yeah, you may be red hot favourites and stuff that got there, but none of that counts in a one-off match. And Saturday just proved for me. I just thought that, over the piece now, when I've analysed it properly again, I just think it was a game too far for quite a number of our players. Callum McGregor, Paulo Bernardo, Alistair Johnston, Kasper Schmeichel, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Daizen Maeda. These guys have been the backbone of the team all year long, and I just think, just even in games towards the end of the season, they just were showing those signs that, they're starting to flag at the end of the season. These guys are playing 50, 60 games and traveling all over the world. So it does take a toll on you. And unfortunately for us, it just led to, a very poor performance from us on Saturday. That being said, I still felt that we dominated the game enough that we should have gone and won the trophy. But my take away from it was we just didn't go for it enough when it was 1-0. We just simply didn't show enough belief. We didn't show enough desire to go and really kill the game off and get that second goal, which would have absolutely finished Aberdeen, no doubt about it. So listen, fair play to Aberdeen, fair play to Jimmy Talleen and the thousands of Aberdeen fans who come down. They deserve credit. As I say, cup finals are all about taking the trophy home, and I have no complaints whatsoever about the result on the day. We were second place on the day, and that's just the way it is. But we're champions for the fourth season in a row. We've won the League Cup. We've saw real, genuine progress in Europe for the first time in a long time. We have a cracking squad of players with a bit of tinkering and a bit of addition in the summer with a few more quality players. We're ready to go again next season. So certainly disappointed at the weekend, but you know what? It's over. It's finished. Let's move on to next season.
Michelle, I know you were hoping to get a ticket. Where did you manage to watch it? And it was, the first half was complete domination by Celtic. I don't think I've seen Celtic dominate a cup final so much in the first half. And as Paddy said, if that second goal went in, Engels hit the post, that one goes in, it's game over. But Aberdeen, fair play to them, got their tactics spot on in the day. And the best team won at the end of the day. It's as simple as that.
It's just... You're right enough, the best team did win, but I don't even know what I was watching by the end of the game. It just did not feel like I was watching the same team that we've been watching all season. And somebody just said, cocky, I was probably one of them. I did not think we were going into that game to struggle to score just one goal. Like, I just don't get what happened. We just weren't the same team we've been playing all season. Nothing was linking up. There was no fire. There was no spirit. It just felt dead. Like, all the players just seemed as if they were there just for the sake of being there. I don't get what I was watching. It was just a horrible watch from start to finish. I didn't enjoy it at all. And that's horrible to say as a fan, but... And you know what I said to you in the group chat umpteen times? Like, yeah, Aberdeen deserved to win, but I just feel like they just played to get those penalties. Yeah, they did score, but well, it was us that kind of scored for them. But the time wasting, I know I keep going back to it, but the amount of times we're down for cramp, to me, like, did that impact the game a wee bit? I think it did, because we kept losing flow. I just feel like any time Celtic lose flow, you're just going back to straight back to the beginning and not getting that rhythm going again. So where that played some part of it, I think it did. But then again, to me, Schmeichel shouldn't have been put in either. I think Sansalo would have been much better. I think we would have won if he was goalkeeping that game, but I don't know. It was a horrible game.
Jerry, you know, a lot of people said that Forrest should have started. You know, Nicholas Kuhn's fell off a cliff since the Bayern Munich game, as a few other players have. You know, he would have been more direct for me, and probably would have been his own form a bit more than Kuhn. It was quite baffling for me that he didn't start. Big Naroki at the back as well. I don't know why he didn't get a sniff in front of Scales. And Sinisalo, as Michelle said as well, instead of Schmeichel. What was he doing for that goal, mate? What was he doing for that goal? It just wasn't the other day, was it? It was just that's it in a nutshell.
Listen, we all sit here and everything's all hindsight because the goalkeeper could have changed the goalie. We picked Rodgers' team. We knew what Rodgers would do. We knew the team it would go on. If the team would win 5-0 when he was sitting talking about this, listen, I could go back to January and say that's a problem, because you know what? We are choking for that poacher. That one chance, one goal, sitting a striker that does nothing all game. Gets one chance, goal, wins you the cup. We've not got it. Maeda works his arse off for every goal he gets. He gets in, runs 40, 50 yards to get to the back post. We've not got that poacher, Scott. He done these 4 or 5 chances to get you that goal. Yeah. Listen, Paddy's bang on. If we get that second goal on Saturday, we're not even talking about this. Yeah. But we just knew, we've seen it umpteen times, we've all watched finals, Paddy's spot on. I've played in finals. I've went to my bed early, got up early, feeling great, went out there and played shite. I've got to my bed, turned all night to 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, slept, got up at 6, went and played a blinder. It's just one of these final things. The form goes out the window. To me, the form goes out the window. And Celtic, just when you go to Hampden and have 6 or 7 players not playing what they can do, they're going to find it. It was just one of the ones. A second goal, you just listen. Celtic lost that cup final. Aberdeen didn't they? Aberdeen had a strategy and stuck to it. And if that's the way, Paddy's right, nobody cares. Because if that's the way you've got to beat Celtic, then so be it. That manager's not caring, Aberdeen fans are not caring. You've seen it, 100,000 of them out in there. They are not caring how that game was won. All you'll do is read the wee red book or the history books that will say Aberdeen's won the Scottish Cup. It'll not talk about Schmeichel's mistake. It'll not talk about nothing. It's all about the history books. By the way, it's hard to criticise the players and all, because we've turned up final after final after final, and now they've got a wee taste of defeat. Sometimes over the summer we'll go over it and we'll come back stronger. Yeah. Well, McGregor, listen, that's great to see how distraught that guy is, losing a cup final. So these folk trying to criticise somebody. It's fucking great to see. That shows how much, after all these cup finals you've done for a 16-year-old, and that guy's passion is still the same as us. So we're going to take it in the chin. Aye, some days we're getting quite confident and quite cocky, but we all know over a one-half game, anything can happen. We've seen cup shocks every season in the cup games, and basically this time it was ours. But listen, as Paddy says, the VAR, penalties, referees. I mean, the thing about Aberdeen was, I wish they go to goal maybe 5 minutes into the second half, because then we could maybe go and do something about it. But we've left it that wee bit long, and when they get it that quick in the 83rd, 84th minute, you're chasing your tail. Just a wee bit too late for us. Because I think if Aberdeen go a bit early, Scott, I think Celtic would have come back. And I don't know with Rodgers or not. And I say it's all right saying things we get beat, but sometimes the 3 subs going on together. Yeah. Sometimes, it's nearly, you're putting 5 subs on and on. It's half a team. Yeah. It's half a team. So, but then he's done it sometimes, and we've known to win the game. So you can't really criticise. So you can look for excuses, but I'm just saying sometimes. It never worked on Saturday, the 3 going on. I feel as if maybe, and it's bang on that 65th minute again. Bang, bang, bang. And listen, as I say, listen, we've got a League Cup, the league priority every year. Boys have done that. We've nearly progressed in Europe. We've been beating penalties for a treble. There's no much we can argue with, is it? But no, I mean, to me, wee bit more luck in the day in Celtic. But as I say, that second goal, for me, racks on back to, we definitely need somebody who's a very box player who's in there, just sniffing out hitting Scott. And we'll not be talking about this. We need that guy. And we should have got him in January. Go even somebody in loan for 6 months. If you never got your number one priority, you had to maybe get somebody in for 6 months.
I just think it just feels so hard because of how well we've bet and played Aberdeen this season. That's why it hurts so much.
These things happen. I said that St Mirren, Michelle, we beat St Mirren 7-0 in the league about 5, 7, 10 years ago. We were more than that. We went out the same next Saturday and you beat 1-0 in the Scottish Cup final. Scottish Cup game, sorry, at Love Street.
I think it's because it was the bench 2 weeks ago it just hammered them 2 weeks ago, the bench. Like, if it just been the first game.
These things just happen. They just happen.
How can you change so much? What has happened in 2 weeks to have such a shitty performance?
Yeah, and just as I said to you earlier, as I said to Jerry before, you have to give credit to Aberdeen. You have to, as Jerry said, they had a mission on Saturday. Their mission there was to try and go out and win the Scottish Cup. That was the object of the exercise, and they were prepared to do that whatever way they did. And like, it was obvious to anybody in the stadium, Aberdeen's tactics were very, very simple. Let's still be in the game with 10, 15 minutes to go. That was their tactic. In every game this season, apart from the 2-2 draw, the game's been over after 50 minutes, 60 minutes. So Aberdeen's tactics were very, very clear. We want to still be in this cup final with 10 or 15 minutes to go. Let's not be 3-0 down or 4-0 down. Let's be there or thereabouts. They were hoping for 0-0 or 1-0 or whatever going into the last, and that's exactly what happened. And as Jerry said, you can look at the. I always say goals change games, and that's exactly what happened on Saturday. For whatever reason, I've watched it 100 times. I still don't know what Kasper Schmeichel was even thinking about or trying to do or whatever. And that's sometimes, as Jerry says, that's just a mistake from the goalkeeper. And that goal going in there, it gave the Aberdeen players a lift, and more importantly, it absolutely ignited their support, who had just started to go quiet. They were just actually starting to think, we're just going to lose this 1-0. Celtic aren't even playing well, but we're not going to be able to break through. That goal just completely changed the entire game, changed the Aberdeen players' mindset. And as Jerry said, because the goal came so late, we had already changes all made. So a lot of our big players had already come off. Ida was already off. Engels was gone. You know what I mean? So we had already, a lot of our guys, as Jerry said, if Aberdeen had equalised 5 minutes into the second half, chances are we would have still probably scored another couple. But because it came so late, we were actually stung. And I did say to the guy beside me, I says, like, how are we going to get this back now, given the fact that we've made all those changes? As Jerry said, we had replaced half a team by that stage, and it's very, very difficult then to get that rhythm going, that attack and rhythm going again. As I said, my focus is very, very clear. We lost the game because we didn't drive home the advantage at 1-0, especially the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of the second half. That's where we lost that game. And then, as I say, Kasper Schmeichel just doing what he done. All that succeeded in doing was, they got Aberdeen level, and it just ignited the whole stadium. The Aberdeen fans were on their feet again. Suddenly there was a belief about them. And for a minute or two, we were actually hanging on before we even got to the end of the 90 minutes. Again, you can talk about Daizen Maeda. I love the wee guy to bits, but as Jerry said, that chance that he missed again indicates to me that, he scored us a lot of goals, but he's not the finished article when it comes to being an out-and-out goal scorer. You know what I mean? And as Jerry said, if we had had a top-class poacher there, they would have just stuck that chance away with no issue whatsoever. But Adam Ida wouldn't have scored it either. Not in current form, he wouldn't have scored it either. So listen, we can have no complaints. As Jerry said, it's all on the day. And as I said, the only thing I'm sure there's not an Aberdeen fan alive that gives one jot about the fact that we dominated them in that game and they won on penalties. Not in a heartbeat. There's Aberdeen fans who've never seen their team winning a trophy. So that's a chance to take home a trophy, a chance to beat Celtic. And as I say, their tactics were very, very clear. They just wanted to be there or thereabouts in the last 10 or 15 minutes in case they can nick something, and that's exactly what happened.
Aberdeen done the homework.
Two things that I picked up on there, for what you said and in the chat as well. The goal that Kasper Schmeichel conceded was on his injured shoulder. So was he trying to protect that? Another thing that we picked up on the post-match show as well is he dived every single time to his left-hand side. He wouldn't dive to the injured shoulder side. Yeah. So Aberdeen looked like they picked up on that. They hit every single one to his injured shoulder side and scored.
Why did we know Bricklow and
Siniselli? Scott, I think that was Thomas in the chat. I think that was Thomas who actually picked that up on the post match as well. We read that on the post match, so he was spot on.
Another thing as well, something that Jerry mentioned. It's ridiculous that we never replaced Kyogo. He told us weeks before he left that I've got another wee stat for you as well. I heard this one a couple of days ago. From the start of the season to when Kyogo left, we had an 80-odd% win rate. Since Kyogo's left, we've had a 60-odd% win rate. So disgusting that he wasn't replaced. They had plenty of time to replace him. Yeah. There was targets there, with the money's there. Everything's, there's no excuse.
Yeah, that's a spot.
And we're that far ahead in the league that the boards obviously went, listen, let's just ride this out to the summer. The league's won. Blah, blah. We know what the board's like.
So you think the game would have been any different if Rio and Jota had been playing?
It's all hindsight, Michelle.
It's all hindsight. I
just feel like the midfield head kind of.
It's always easy for.
Bernardo was terrible.
I'm mopping back. We're talking about the guys playing, but I'm mopping back to January because he hangs. But if Celtic won, I wouldn't. But it's that's what it is. Kev's Garden, he's our main priority. But he doesn't come. That's what Celtic's going to say, right, we'll go to get this guy in and loan for 6 months till this guy comes. That other somebody. And we didn't replace Kyogo. Yeah. And knew, because Maeda was banging in goals straight away, it was brilliant. But Maeda's working his arse off at every goal he gets. A striker shouldn't need to do that. A striker, a guy who just bounces him.
The thing is, he was playing through the middle, and I think he was playing well. And then obviously James Forrest got injured and had to come off, and then he had to go back to the wing. I feel like if Maeda had stayed through the middle, would we have got that extra goal? Just everything was stopping and starting and breaking the flow. This is what I keep going back to.
I think James is bang on there. I agree with James. Kyogo buries that chance. The same as the Arameda chance at Ibrox. Kyogo just sticks that in the net without breaking sweat. You know what I mean? It's just we're just lacking that. We are lacking that killer number 9.
I think it's Paddy Kyogo wants to leave. So
absolutely, Jerry. Yeah.
But it's we should have replaced him. It's simple. With a loan deal. If your main guy doesn't come, that's where you get a loan deal for 6 months. It suits all parties, and you're hopefully getting your main guy in the summer. And that's going to be, this guy's gone this summer. If we don't get him this summer, it's been wasted time waiting for this guy. That's the guy we're going for, and I hope it's the guy we get. But who's that there, Aberdeen?
Aberdeen fan on aye. Well, it's fine. We're giving you credit, mate. He's certainly deserved it. We're not sitting on here saying that Celtic deserved it.
I can't disagree with any of that.
Yeah.
They've done their homework,
I mean, I'll be honest, I actually felt like jumping up the train to Aberdeen for a swally on Monday there when I seen that.
Well, anyway, Brendan Rodgers had plenty to say about it after the game, and again, he was, he called it as it was. I just said to the players in terms of the game itself, we can have no complaints really, because when you don't create so much and you're safe in it, then that's what can happen. He said, you put yourself in a position where you can win it or lose it, and sadly for us, we lost it. But the bigger picture is that we won 2 out of 3 titles this season. The players have given me everything and given the club everything. Now they need to go away, be with their families, because their families need them now, and they'll need them. And when we get to the summer and look to regroup and get excited by next season, I don't think our offensive attacking player was anywhere to the standard of what it's been a lot of this season. So when you're like that, you can either win the game or lose the game. And unfortunately for us, we lost it. But congratulations to Aberdeen, as we just said there, to that Aberdeen fan. They pick up the trophy, and we are on the wrong side of it, which hasn't happened so often. None of this is given to you. You really have to earn it. And that's something that he touched on quite a bit. You can have all the money in the world, all the players. You have to go out there and earn it. This is same with league titles. And today we didn't earn that. Our other titles, we've won 2 out of the 3 domestic titles this year, and we've definitely earned them. Spot on. So again, it's just a reference to how tough it is to win trophies and how good this team is. And this club has been over a number of years. So days like today are part of football. It's not nice, but it'll allow us to renew the motivation again going into the summer. And finally, we wanted nothing more than to give the Celtic fans that feeling of winning again and to take that through into the summer, Brendan Rodgers said. We've given everything, and I want to thank them all for the support they've given us throughout the season. They turned out today and gave us everything. So we're just sorry that we couldn't bring the trophy back to Celtic Park. Paddy, he's spot on again, isn't he?
Absolutely, Scott. You can't disagree with a single word about that. And I said it on the post match, and I just hope the bulk of the supporters will take that on board. That this completely dispels the myth that it's just easy. It's so easy. You just have to turn up and win these trophies, and you win a treble, you win a double, and it's all just so easy. It's not. It's very, very difficult to win football matches. That's the bottom line. Brendan Rodgers is an elite manager, but he's in charge of a team whose responsibility is to win football matches. And as Jerry said earlier, like when you think of the number of trophies that we've won, in this run, even just in Brendan's 2 spells, it's absolutely remarkable achievement when you think of the number of games that we play, the amount of travel we do, the players that we have from, you've got Austin Trusty and Cameron Carter-Vickers away to America. You've got the Japanese lads back and forward. Alistair Johnson from Canada. These guys are traveling to the other side of the world and back again, and crossing different time zones and still managing to play and still managing to put in performances. So it's been a remarkable achievement. But the one thing it does do is show you that, as Brendan says, you still have to do the hard yards and the hard work. You still have to go out there onto the pitch and earn it. Aberdeen are a very honest bunch of lads. They're not world beaters by any manner of means. The league table shows that. They finished in 5th place. But as I say, on any given day, any team who gets their tactics right and works hard enough and gets their tactics spot on is capable of doing anything like that. It's a one-off game, and that's exactly what it was. And as I say, good luck to Aberdeen and Jimmy Taylor. They deserved it on the day. I wouldn't say the better team won. I'm not saying that for a start, but I'm just saying the team that got their tactics right won the cup. It was as simple as that.
Yeah, bang on, mate. Absolutely bang on. And Michelle, Brendan said that the players have to get there and earn it. They did earn the league. They did earn the League Cup. They didn't earn that in that final, and he's spot on with his comments.
Yeah, I think we kind of, even just me, like others, we need to kind of realise that we did win 2 previous competitions and you kind of win them all. So just to be proud of what we have achieved rather than what we've not. Because, it did hurt a wee bit. All of us went in expecting we were going to get it. So just to be proud that what we've achieved in 2025 and aim to achieve more in 2026 and hopefully even get further in the Champions League if we qualify and stuff. So, yeah. It's a shame Aberdeen started the season off well, competing against us, and then they've beat us in a different cup in the end of the season. So, yeah, fair play to Aberdeen. Fair play.
And Jerry, it's something that you've touched on quite a bit as well, mate, is, we have to, enjoy these times that we're having, because we certainly always haven't had them. And a double's still a great shout, mate. At the end of the day, it's an amazing achievement. And Brendan said that the players have earned them, and we just didn't earn that Scottish Cup. It's as simple as that. And we move on, mate.
Aye, but it's one of the ones, sometimes I've been kind of devastated. I just feel as if, I'm going to say I felt it happening, but one of these strange days. I just feel it was one of these strange days, and it didn't surprise me, but I'm be honest. And then you go to look at it and all, we're wanting Brendan Rodgers to stay here. See if we say at the start of the season we've got a cup double, a league in a bubble, league in a cup, and we'll do better in Europe. We would have jumped at it.
Yeah.
So he could have got the Scottish Cup, but we're absolutely garbage in Europe again. Yeah. So for me, it's a hard one, and it is. We are beating penalties by the way. We've not been beat 3-0 in Aberdeen here, and we're looking to get into someone in a bad kind of position. Well, no, you're beating penalties in a day we were that, if you want to look at it. So for me, Rodgers, the team, by the way, sat there and clapped Aberdeen for a team who's been winning everything. They showed great. The players, the manager, said great things about the other team. Didn't they blame the own things like Derek McInnes or one of these guys? Didn't moan about anything else. The guy was a credit to Aberdeen, telling them how well done and everything else. So for me, listen, see if Rodgers is going to keep winning everything here, are we going to keep him? I don't think we are. So days like this is maybe going to keep him. We need other teams to come. Obviously not like penalties, but we need teams like Aberdeen, Hearts. We need these teams getting better.
Absolutely.
And winning. I know it sounds daft, but we need them winning to keep. If you want to keep the top players, Brendan Rodgers That's him going to his third season now, 4 seasons. Start winning, will they stay any longer? So for me, you need these things as well, just a pity it was bloody us, you beat the penalties, but to me, can't be any better. Rodgers will complain in the summer, and just one of the things. We beat Rangers in penalties and we lost that one. We just swapped him about. I know it's hindsight again, but we just swapped him about. I wouldn't. Or I took a Rangers one all day long and lost to Aberdeen. So it's sometimes things are just there for the stars and it happens, innit? That's the way to see it, you know what I mean, mate?
Aye, and like you say, we do need a strong league, strong teams. I think Hibs will be stronger next season. Aberdeen will get a boost for that as well. Hearts, obviously, with the injection of money. The Sad Bear 69ers will be a little bit stronger as well. But Celtic will be stronger.
Yeah.
So and Andy's favourite team, Livingston, will be up there fighting for the league title as well. So it's good to see.
And but Brendan Rodgers will relish a challenge from anybody. That's the one thing that Brendan wants. Brendan Rodgers doesn't want to be 25 points clear at Christmas in the league. That's when you start to go stale and fans start taking things for granted and you just turn up as if it's expected. Brendan Rodgers will he'll like a strong challenge from Aberdeen, from Hibs, from Hearts, from Rangers. He will like a challenge there because that's what, as Jerry said, that's what keeps your own players motivated. And that's what will also attract other better players as well. If you see a really good competitive league and stuff like that. So listen, it's one of those things. It was a one-off day for us. We haven't had very many of them in the last number of years. So as I say, good luck to Aberdeen.
Aye, simple as. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got over 100 watching us this evening. If this is your first time watching this podcast, then please like, share and subscribe. Jump onto the YouTube page, hit that subscribe button. Paddy, we've got quite a few people watching on the Facebook group as well. Do you want to give us a wee plug for the Facebook group, pal?
Yeah, certainly. So if you haven't already seen on Facebook, our Facebook page is Planet Celtic. So we sponsor the 4 Leaf Clover podcast. So we are just like the podcast. We are just taking followers hand over fist. We're now touching almost 70,000 followers over there. So there's some great Celtic content on that as well. All of the shows on the 4 Leaf Clover podcast are live on Planet Celtic. So if you haven't had a chance to go and have a wee look at it, please go ahead, go to Facebook, just search for Planet Celtic and hit that like and subscribe, whatever you need to do there, because you will get a lot of great content there as well. And we, as I say, we sponsor the show here. So we've all just been knocked sideways by the amount of followers that we're getting. You can see even here on this one here, we're getting our own wee community, which is brilliant to see. It's the same people who are tuning in regularly, week in, week out. Doesn't matter what the podcast is, what night it's on. We're getting a very, very loyal band of followers. So long may that continue. So if you haven't had a chance to like, share, and subscribe for the 4 Leaf Clover podcast, and also take a wee look at the Planet Celtic Facebook page.
There you go. See, even though Jade didn't even notice it was your page there, Paddy.
You're very welcome, Jade.
Brilliant. I've just got a wee update here for the season ticket renewals as well. Just in case you haven't seen this, I think Celtic have sort of sprung this on everybody this year. Normally there is an extension, but season ticket holders are reminded that the deadline to renew is 5 p.m. this Friday, May the 30th. We'd be delighted to see you back at Paradise next season for more unforgettable match days, for the title challenge and for the incredible memories that last a lifetime. The deadline to renew season tickets will not be extended. It's always extended, and this year they're saying it's not going to be extended. Renew before 5 p.m. this Friday, May the 30th, to secure your seat at Paradise. So, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you are a season ticket holder and you haven't seen that, then you've got a couple of days to get a few grand rustled up together and get that sorted out. As Jerry said, it'll be Christmas soon before when they start asking for the season ticket renewals. So, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, 2 pre-season friendlies have been announced, obviously, as we all know. Cork City is up first for us at the start of July, and then we have got Newcastle. But some news has came out the club today that after the Cork City game on Tuesday, the 8th of July, we will be going to Portugal for a summer camp, and it looks like we're going to be taking on Sporting Lisbon when we're over there. We're then going to come back and play Newcastle United at Celtic Park, as you can see. And it's just been announced today that we've accepted an invitation from Italy. It looks like we're going to be playing Czech Fabregas's Como side, by the looks of things, and Ajax as well. So we're going to be playing those two teams just before the league kicks off, and that all-important Champions League playoff match as well. So, Paddy, wee bit of exciting news there, mate. You know, those games sort of getting announced. Como, Ajax, Sporting Lisbon, Newcastle, and obviously Cork City up first across your part of the world. What are you thinking of those games, mate?
Great, Scotty, for us. As Jerry said, it's a really strange one. You know, we're still really feeling that we're in this season and already talking about games pre-next season. So it just shows you that the close season is getting shorter and shorter every summer, and these guys get very little of a break. So, but great for us. We're planning a road trip down to Cork. So for once, we'll not have to cross the sea. We'll stay on the road. So we're planning a wee road trip to that, and then we're also we're going to do the Newcastle game. So I've got tickets for Cork and I've got tickets for Newcastle. The other ones are just fantastic when you see the names of these clubs. You know, the likes of Sporting Lisbon, Ajax, you know, just massive European names. So it's great for us to see we're not playing. It's great to see that we're not playing teams like Middlesbrough, and some of these other teams have games against the likes of Middlesbrough. So it's great for us to be associated with those big names in Europe. So just fantastic. So that should be some cracking fixtures there to hopefully whet the appetite for next season. You know, and as Jerry said, you know, last season, really enjoyed it last season, watching the friendlies out in America against Man City and Chelsea. Yeah. When Nicholas Kuhn and Kyogo just announced themselves, particularly in those two games. So let's hope for more of the same in those. So we have some fantastic fixtures to look forward to.
Yeah, well, let's hope that we get the Nicholas Kuhn back that turned up in the pre-season for next season as well. That'd be nice. Michelle, looking at those games that we've just spoke about there, is there any of them that are sort of wetting your whistle, shall we say?
I've never heard that saying before, but that's quite funny. I'm just going to think what I was thinking. Newcastle one, definitely. I would love to go to that, so hopefully they'll go in the general public soon, and I'll try to get one of them. I was lucky enough that we played Ayr United. Was that last July for a friendly? Ayr United managed to go to that because obviously it's just 5 minutes over the road, so I was lucky for that one. So yeah, definitely. What are you moaning about now?
I'm coming after WhatsApp if you're looking for a ticket.
You are my ticket supplier. Definitely, you're my secret. I was going to say secret whole hustle. That sounds wrong as well, but yeah, no, definitely Newcastle. So if I get one of them, then it'd be nice to meet up with Paddy. We have tried the last Celtic game, but we just seem to bypass each other.
We'll put that right next season, Michelle.
Definitely. We will up our relationship next season. You shut up.
Paddy said he was avoiding you. Jerry.
Jerry's already met me, so he says I'm well worth the wait, aren't I, Jerry?
You're always my favourite, Paddy. Always.
He's more handsome live. He's more handsome in the flesh. So,
look, he's blushing. Look, his wee cheeks blushing.
Get him already there. Get him already. Jerry.
I was giving him all the answers to the quizzes every Wednesday. I was meeting him at the games.
Oh,
already. What game are you looking forward to all them that's just been announced then, Jerry? I quite fancy the Como one.
For all these folk out there, you want to know right now, it's 41 days to that Celtic game against Cork for the day. So it's 41 days till we see Celtic again, the 8th of July. I would just like to say I'm so glad Celtic are going out to Ireland, because I think in previous pod I spoke about it. Celtic should be there once a year.
Yeah.
If it can't go in the summer, they've got to get in maybe between international breaks, even if it's only B players or a couple of first team players. But Celtic's got to go there for the fans. The big following that comes out for Ireland deserves Celtic to at least go there once a year, especially all the work they put in to come out to see Celtic week in, week out, Scott. So that's good. Celtic are going to Ireland. I'm happy for that. I'm hoping to maybe get Paddy's for that game and travel down, but we'll see. The Newcastle game, I'm in Santa Ponza for a week with the family. So I'll not be going to that. I think it's £25 for the adults, £13 for the kids. Yeah. It's a bit of a thing, because Celtic, we used to get that in a season, but me and Paddy spoke about that. So they're taking that kind of money, but that's what it is now with Celtic. These games get Newcastle up and that. Then we're on to Como into it. That'd be beautiful to go there. I don't know if I would change Paddy for hanging about with George Clooney. He supports Como. So don't tell Paddy that. If it was a choice between the two, see that, you know what? I'd go and see Paddy. Fuck George Clooney.
You'll get a bed in his camper van any day, Jerry.
But that'd be some tournament there in Lake Como. Beautiful to see. And all winter be beautiful. You got Eamon Ajax. Lake Como, by the way, has done brilliant first year in the Serie A for years. They're about 10th in the league. So it's two cracking games to get the fitness levels back up again, Scott, in the summer. And that'll not be long. That's what I'm saying. 41 days to the first game. These guys were back. In 2-3 weeks' time, back into it. No, that's him again. Away they go again. So fair play to them. It's a good few games, mate.
Yep, it certainly is, and I'm looking forward to them all. So the last thing I've got for you is this evening, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to the two segments we've got for you, is silly season has started already. I actually uploaded this to the podcast yesterday, and it's actually grown arms and legs today, Paddy. Daizen Maeda is being linked with a move to Fenerbahce.
Yep.
Turkish side Fenerbahce are reportedly interested in signing Celtic forward Daizen Maeda. According to reports from Turkey, Jose Mourinho wants to add more attackers to his team after missing out on the league title. Fenerbahce are also likely to lose that guy this summer, so they are said to be looking for replacements. Maeda's had a great season at Celtic. He scored 33 goals in 51 games and helped the Hoops win the league and the League Cup. His hard work, speed and goal scoring have made him one of the Celtic's most important players. Because of his performances, he won the PFA Scotland Player of the Year and Scottish Football Writers Player of the Year. Takvim report that Fenerbahce's sporting director Mario Branco is ready to start signing new players, and Maeda is one of their top targets. But for now, there is no word on when they will speak to Celtic or how much they are ready to pay. Maeda is only 27 and signed a new contract with Celtic 2 years ago. His current deal runs out in June 2027, so the club does not need to sell him unless a big offer comes in. Celtic will sit down with Maeda over the coming weeks to discuss a new contract, with the forward set to travel to Japan to see his newborn child following the Scottish Cup final. If he does agree a new deal, he would only add to Celtic's position of strength. Brendan Rodgers will want to keep Maeda. He's played a major role in the Hoops' domestic dominance in recent years, but Celtic have sold the top players in the past when the price was right, like Matt O'Reilly. Sadly, every player has his price. Celtic will have a round of Champions League qualifiers in August, which complicates how the club will handle the Maeda situation. However, he hasn't pushed for an exit and has kept his heads down, working very hard. Right now, there's no offer on the table. Fenerbahce are just showing interest. If they really want Maeda, they'll need to offer a lot of money. Celtic fans will hope he stays, but the summer transfer window will ultimately bring surprises. Andy.
Hey!
Oh, sir. How you doing, Andy? All right?
The gang
Right,
is
mate,
back
I
together.
was going to shoot down the road, but I'll just stay at the moment.
No problem, my man. Paddy, we're just talking about Maeda there, Fenerbahce. Like I said, I actually put it on yesterday, and today the story has grown arms and legs. Apparently, Mourinho's interested, as a lot of top European clubs will be interested in him. He's not just done it in Scotland; he's done it in Europe. What are you making of this?
I think it's kite flying, to be honest, Scotty. I honestly think that's what it is. I don't think there's probably much of a shred of truth in it. There's no quotes from anybody connected to Celtic or anybody connected to Fenerbahce, and this is what agents do. You know, if they can get the word out that a manager like Jose Mourinho, it's not so much Fenerbahce, it's the name of Jose Mourinho. If they get the word out that a manager of that ilk is looking at a particular player, that alerts other clubs. And then all of a sudden, other clubs sit up and take notice and say, well, if Jose Mourinho's looking at him, we might have a look at this guy. He's been the absolutely outstanding player for Celtic all season long. He was outstanding in the Champions League. So for me, Celtic are in a perfect position. Yes, it would be ideal if we could get him on even an extension, but he's under contract for another 2 years. Scott, Celtic don't need to do anything, and really and truly, if an offer does come in, Celtic are quite within the rights to just say, right, there's the price. If you want to talk to us about him, there's the price, and we need to take the lead from the likes of figures that we got for Moussa Dembele, for Matt O'Reilly, one or two other guys. So for me, that I'd be looking Celtic should be starting the business at 30 million, and if you don't want to pay that, well then go away and leave us alone. Simple as that. The guy's under contract. From what I can gather, his family are really settled and really enjoying living in Glasgow. So I honestly don't think that Daizen Maeda is trying to pursue a move away from the club. I know he was asked recently about potentially staying, but listen, the guy's a human being and he's just had a child on the other side of the world, and he had another game to finish in Scotland before he could get out there. So I'm sure that's the last thing in his mind at the minute. He wants to be with his family now, and that's exactly as it should be. So I don't see an awful lot in this Scotty anyway, to be honest, and like we talked about it all season long. Andy, myself, Jerry, we talked about it in the group chat. I would hazard a guess that if Daizen Maeda gave Celtic any idea that he wanted a move and Celtic were prepared to sanction a move, I would be thinking a club from a far bigger league than Fenerbahce would be looking about Daizen Maeda. Daizen Maeda has bound to impress some of the top clubs all over Europe this season. His performances against the likes of Bayern Munich and the rest. So I would think if Daizen Maeda became available tomorrow, there'd be more than Fenerbahce looking for him. So, but at this stage, I don't think there's really much in it. I think it's just a bit kite flying from the media.
Aye, and Andy, we've spoke about it already this season, but it has grown arms and legs over the past sort of 48 hours. He's irreplaceable, mate, isn't he? I mean, even if they sell him, who do you bring in that gives you his numbers, mate? There's nobody.
We spoke about it before, right? That you don't really know that we're experts in world football, but I've not seen anybody like him. He's pretty unique when you think his work ethic. Look at his goals this season. It's been fantastic. What was that? Can we not put Yang?
That comment, Andy. Sorry, pal. Put Yang in a blonde wig and punt him.
Aye. I know. I think Yang's been getting a wee bit of stick recently, and I think he's actually improved. I think there is a player there. We just need to nurture him, I think, a wee bit, I'll get his blood there more. Maybe that will help.
His birthday on Sunday must have been shit anyway.
Aye. The less we talk about that, the better. I don't know what he's been up to. But touching on Maeda, I think, it's really difficult to kind of gauge somebody because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I think he's happy at Celtic. He seems happy his family life and stuff like that, and winning trophies and things. But you don't know what his aims are in his career, and if any big names come calling, it just unsettles him a wee bit, and he kind of looks ahead to what could be now, going to a different country or playing for a different team. I think it's going to be really difficult for us to replace him if he does go. And I don't even want to think about it, to be honest with you.
Aye, it would be absolutely devastating if he was to go. He's one of a kind, Michelle. Do you just think it's silly season, mate? But like I said, it has grown arms and legs, so there could be some sort of truth in it. But you'd expect him to go to a better team than Fenerbahce if that was going to be the case.
I hope it is just hearsay rumours, because if it's true, they can suck my big tate and piss off and go elsewhere, because nobody is nicking Maeda from Celtic. So, bye-bye. That's all I'm going to say. And 11 million, maybe add another 30 on top of that. Like, there's no way. Like, as Andy said, he's one of the top players, I would say, in the world right now in football. So, yeah, I want him to stay. Please don't go. I'm obsessed with him. I love him to pieces. End the t-shirt.
Jerry, paper talk. We're going to get loads of it on these podcasts over the next few weeks, and the first one to surface is our main man, Maeda.
Hey, this is stuff that will keep you going to the next Celtic League game, mate. This is the stuff that keeps you going. The rumours. Well, let's be honest here. Come on, it's insane. He's gone to a better. Listen, the Turkish League's up there by us. There's not even I don't even know. There's Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, Preseason, and that. What Transbunspor. Because I betted them one day. That's the reason I know them. They've done my coupons. So 4 teams. There's nothing in that there for him and all to go and if he's lean for a decent team. It's like you say with his performances in Europe and that, they know what's happening there. Listen, there's a lot of teams that will watch a lot of other players, but listen, let's be honest, they'll decide who the European games, if they're good enough or not, when they watch your players. They'll not take into consideration when it's the Scottish games. Maeda will go, if it has to be, there's not much we can do. These things happen now, we know that, how Celtic work. We hope it's not him, but we do know sometimes that one player will leave every summer. I just hope it's no Maeda, any bar him, for me anyway. It's like we hope that Tatev is going to be somebody. But I don't think for 1 minute the guy's going to go to that Turkish league. No chance. Can't see that. Listen, some of these agents need a wee top up now and again as well, Scott. Some of them get us going. They're looking to get their percentage and get a bit of money, and guys are on contracts get them going again. So, but let's paper talk. I think, don't get me wrong, you do worry. 27 years of age. That's his big one. But then Celtic are going to have talks to him, so hopefully Celtic will sort all that out in the next few weeks, and we'll not need to worry about it because, as everybody knows, we know what he brings to the football team. He does the work. The work after the ball is phenomenal. Obviously, his goals this year's been brilliant, but we know what he does, and he's probably our main man. So MD bar our main man now this year. Hopefully, but as I say, obviously these things just start now. The season's finished. You expect this kind of talk, but if it was maybe a German team or an English Premiership team, I'd maybe start getting. And I see it's maybe a Turkish team. I'm not really too concerned about that. Anyway.
Yeah, mate. Hopefully it doesn't go irreplaceable for me, but it's the first one that's been mentioned, so we will talk about them. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's us done. We've got 2 segments for you, and first up is our Michelle with
Who's that player?
So, Michelle, Andy, do you want to do these for Michelle? Do you want me to do them?
All right, aye. Hold on. My signal was going there because some fanny decided to park beside me and interrupted my signal. Maybe to crack.
Bear with me though, I don't know how these have uploaded, so I just need 2 seconds.
So give us a wee, what's this all about then, Michelle? Let the audience know, pal.
Oh no, it's just the emoji game that everybody likes.
Right.
Just to guess the player. But obviously I'm not sure how these have uploaded them, so it should be fine. I should be able to remember by making them, so.
Okay.
Emojis.
I took a picture.
Oh, is it that the one you sent me the other day? Is the same? That's fine. Cool.
Right, ready?
7. Yep. Comments off, lads.
Yeah.
Right, first one, guys. I'll start you off easy. Aye, I'll start you off easy.
Easy?
Yeah.
What's that first thing?
That's, why would I tell you that's cheating?
Yeah, got it.
Go at them, but it's piss.
Wow, you're charming as usual. Paddy?
No clue.
Oh.
Another 10 seconds and we'll... Yep. He's gave up, you too.
You can guess.
Right, okay, Scott, we'll go with you first.
Daizen Maeda.
Oh.
I'm guessing by that reaction, Pad, you didn't get the answer.
Neither.
Andy?
Aye, I get Maeda as well, but I didn't get the crown with Dad on it at the end. What was that about?
Let me see.
What the end but da?
Da.
Da?
Da.
A dad? You call your dad your da?
You're my da.
You're my da? I don't know, it's just an account.
Do you still call mine's daddy?
I can't believe I didn't get that.
Good for you. Thanks very much. We'll go on to it. But it was Daizen Maeda.
Done.
So well done to everybody but Jerry and Paddy.
Go on.
Next one.
I
will give you a clue in this one, right? So the first one is wool, but it's what Scottish people call wool?
What's wrong? Damn bell chicken. Man, damn bell chicken. Hen. What?
I've got it. Got it.
I think I've got it. Well, I don't know.
Do you know what that is? Celtic player.
Got it.
Well, what's
Got
the
it,
emoji?
yeah.
The emoji second one. Like, say, honey.
Right.
Hey, stop cheating.
5 seconds.
Aye, that's right.
Who's
That's
getting
right.
help?
That's what it is.
I can hear a female. Jerry!
My daughter was walked in there. I just said to her, do you know that?
Good sake. Right, we'll come to you, Paddy.
I got Mr. Dembele.
Cool. Andy?
I get Musa Dembele, and I don't know why, but I did.
Jerry?
Just say the belly.
You got the eye? No? Okay, cool. Fine.
Carry on.
Scott? Yes, it was Moose, Man, Dam, Bell, and the chicken laying an egg. Lay.
Are you not asking me, like, no?
Yes, that's correct. Sorry, you just put it back up on the screen. That's it. Yes, Scott, well done.
Scotty's feeling left out.
Aye,
No,
this
just
is
put
just
it back up on the screen.
that in.
Well done, everybody except Cherry again.
Gonna enlighten me here. What, right, the will. What part is that? What?
That's Oos.
That's
As
what
an
I
Oos
got.
will. So Oos, Man, Dam, Belly.
Damn.
Look, you can't question when everybody else scored it.
I was going to go for Jean-Claude Van Damme, to be honest.
Ah.
And then I got it. I got it Dembele, but at the end.
Belly karaoke.
You want the number
Is
3
it-
then?
Yeah.
Not getting it in the chat. Aye, that's fine. Right, well, yeah, number 3.
Where'd you get that picture of me?
It was being Saturday, Andy.
Are you on the right? Like,
Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bobby pint glass. No. Bobby.
Think of the type of pint glass.
Bobby
Dunk.
tumbler.
Dunk. Something
Man.
junk.
Pant jug. Or jug. Sack.
No,
Yeah.
it's a
Option.
type of German beer glass.
Yeah.
Jock. Beer.
Wow. It's, right, I still don't get it. Well, it's the
Right,
first
time
one.
up.
Bobby's Steiner.
Right, so we'll come to you, Jerry. I'm hoping you've got this because that is just your favourite picture ever.
Steiner.
Got 0.
Cool. Well done. Andy?
No.
Sorry, Scott, sorry.
Jock Stein.
Nah, come
Yeah.
on. I said jock to. Don't think that
I
was
know,
a stein.
Paddy?
Rockstein.
Okay. Andy?
Bobby Steiner.
For the Steiner brothers.
Did you actually get it? You just got the steam?
I didn't get a Steiner, I get Steiner. Is it's a Steiner, isn't it?
I got the
No.
joke, and then
Well, you got it right. Okay, that's fine. Move along. Well done to the guys who did get it.
oh,
Thank you. What's his name again? Sheep. Sheep
Oh.
Muppet.
I've got it. Fucking pip. That's a belter, by the way.
Right, my jock steam was about.
Not really, no.
That's a good one, that one. Like it.
Glad.
oh, I think I've got it.
Right, okay. Scott, we'll come to you first.
It is Paul Lambert.
Paddy?
Yep, same for me, Paul Lambert.
Right.
Andy?
Yes, Paul Lambert.
And Jerry?
Yes. Lambert. But
Yay!
oh, what's his name again? The guy. I got Lambert, obviously, but who's it?
Paul O'Grady, it was.
So it was. I thought it
It
was
was.
Lolly. I was going to write Lolly Lambert.
I'll give it for Lambert since you're doing so well in this game so far.
I'm not an emoji guy. You know what I mean? I'm not kidding. I'm going to start learning them.
You can ask your daughter to come back in to help, you know.
I'm going to spend the full summer learning the emojis.
Okay, dokie. Right, number 5.
That's my homework for the summer. Here we go. Tom and Jerry. Tom. Come on.
Oh,
I've got it. I've got it.
It's over. Is it the...
Got it.
Oh, I've got it.
I love hearing you saying you've got it. It's quite funny.
I think I've got it anyway.
Right, you ready?
Not too bad at that one. I've done that. I've got that. No. Yep, I've
Okay,
got it.
Paddy, we'll come to you first.
All right. I went for Tomoki Iwata.
Aye. That's what I went for.
Andy?
Aye. Tomoko Wata.
Tomoki
Get it,
Iwata.
yep. And Scott?
Tom Oki Awata.
Well done. Full house, full house.
Okay.
Radio number 6.
Number 6. Basketball. Coke. Black. Apple. And basketball. Coke. No. Coke.
I've got the first one.
I've
So,
got the first one in a row.
So think of the laptop, the kind of make of laptop it is.
Yeah.
And that will give you the start of the second name.
Oh, apple.
I'm just going to have a guess, but I don't know who this guy is. Yep, just going to have a wee guess, man. Fuck it.
Are you wanting a clue?
Nah.
Yes, please. Yes.
Nah.
Yes, please. He was. Let me see. He just
Well,
died.
in 1703 or something, didn't he?
He died 3-4 years ago.
At
And
the
he
age of
played-
12.
He played with Celtic between 1955 to 1964.
Yeah.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Goalkeeper. Edmondson.
Duncan Appleby.
No. But you got the first one right. Paddy?
Try
I
to work
went
it
for
for
Duncan Mackay.
Okay. Andy?
Aye, I get Duncan. That's about
And Jerry?
Nothing.
Nothing. The answer was Duncan Mackay.
Oh!
Well done, Paddy.
Well done.
Somebody wrote PJ and Duncan in the group. They are now my favourite user. Well done. You can
Let's get ready to rumble.
drop the mat. Let's just drop the mat. Right, okay, number 7 and your final one.
You would
Steven.
need to be a right gunner to get that right off the bat. Yeah, that one.
That worries me there.
Aye. I know.
Man.
Oh. Oh. I didn't know who the guy in the left was, but I do know.
I've got it. Brilliant.
I kept the easy one for last.
Brilliant.
Yeah, very good. I've got. I hope we've got it.
So I think all of you's got it. So you can all tell me at the same time who you've got.
3, 2, 1. Ange
Ange
Postecoglou.
Postecoglou.
Yes,
Fun.
well done, guys. I was writing down the answers so Scott you get 6 out of 7.
Yeah.
Paddy, what did you get?
6. I got the first one wrong, but then I got Dembele, Steen, Lambert, Iwata, Mackay, and Postecoglou. 6 I got.
Yeah. Andy,
I get 5.
did you
I
actually?
get 4. I get 4.
But do you not fucking believe me? How come everybody thinks I must be the worst fucking player here?
Because for the full game, you're like, I don't get it.
For the whole game, I basically said I got them apart from one.
Okay, it's fine. You got 5 then. Wow, good for you. I'm happy for you. Well done, Scott and Paddy. You got 6 out of 7.
Well done, guys. Brilliant, Michelle. That was really good.
Well done.
Michelle, thank you so much.
You're welcome,
Ladies,
guys.
So my maestro, I'm shite at it all.
ladies and gentlemen, that was...
Who's that player?
And yeah, it's that time. The one we've all been waiting for, I think.
So he doesn't like me, you can tell.
It's time
You're the
for...
one that's been rude to me.
Okay, so over the close season, we are going to pick our 4-leaf clover starting 11. There will be no Lisbon Lions in this team for obvious reasons, because the team would just be stacked with Lions. So we're going to pick 11 players that we've seen play, basically, from the panel that you can see on the screen. If there is a tie between the players that everybody picks, then it will go to the viewers for the final vote. I won't have a vote. So luckily tonight we've got 4 on the panel. If they get down to the last man standing and it's two separate goalkeepers, then the viewers will pick. I'm going to give them 10 random goalkeepers, and they have to pick their best goalkeeper from the 2 goalkeepers I give them, all the way down from 10 to 1, and it will be the last man standing. That's how it works. We had a little play with it a few weeks ago when we done the Choose Your Boys Carefully, but there's not going to be any monkey business in this one. It's just going to be a straight, who is the best goalkeeper out of these 2 goalkeepers that I give you. So first up for you this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is Magnus Hedman. Magnus Hedman or Robert Douglas. So let's go around the panel. Magnus Hedman or Robert Douglas. Who are you picking and why? And let me know in the comments as well. Paddy.
Looks easy for me, Scott. If and to go by, I think Robert Douglas for me, the better of the 2 goalkeepers. Hedman possibly maybe a better goalkeeper at international level, but not for Celtic. For me, Robert Douglas, the better of the 2 keepers for Celtic.
Okay. Andy?
I'm going for Big Grab because we're trying to get him on here. So I'm going for that. Listen, Hedman, I think he was probably good on his day. No, it was. I always remember that against Bayern Munich away from home when the ball just goes right through his horns. It was an absolute clanger. Big Grab, I think he done more for us as well, obviously playing big games. Had a mistake him in it as well with any other goalkeeper, but pretty solid big guy, aye. So definitely Rob Douglas.
Okay, mate. Michelle?
I went for the same, but obviously going back, I'm not familiar with kind of some goalkeepers in the past, but I remember obviously Rob Douglas. So yeah, that's mine.
Okay, so Rob Douglas has got the vote already, Jerry, but we still want your opinion, my man. Who are you going for and why?
We're stuck going because of Hedman's. You told that guy put up there, Hedman's wife and the sister, they were twins, so they were lovely. Yeah, well, she the sister was a twin as well. The 2 of them are gorgeous, weren't they?
Oh, I can't mind.
They get to the flip side it. Be serious there. Going with Rob Douglas, not even debatable. Big man,
Okay.
Great games with Celtic, and obviously some bad games, but overall, done his best. Good big steady signing at the time. So Rab Douglas gets an nod there.
Okay. So Rab Douglas gets an nod. So next up for you, Paddy, is Rab Douglas against Jonathan Gould. Difficult one. Rab Douglas or Jonathan Gould?
Oh, it's a tough one, that, Scott. I'm going to plump for Jonathan Gould out of those two.
Okay.
I think Gould was a more steady goalkeeper than Big Rab was. Very similar in many ways in terms of, you know, the success we had and stuff and the teams that we played in. But for me, you know, I think Gould was a more steady goalkeeper and a more reliable goalkeeper all round than Big Rab.
Okay, Andy.
I'm going with Big Rab here. I'm sticking with Big Rab.
Okay, pal. Michelle.
Same, I'm still sticking with Rab Douglas.
Okay. Jerry, so Big Rab keeps it again, but again, mate, who are you going for and why? Oh, sorry, no, Paddy went for Johnny Gould, didn't he?
Yep.
So, this is the first one, Jerry. You could take this to a wee tiebreaker here and it could go down to the viewers. Who are you picking and why?
I'm going to go with Big Rab, man. And Big Rab just shades it. Right, but I don't think he was anything great again. Gould, I thought Gould's a bit sometimes. And Martin O'Neill couldn't wait to get a better goalie in, could he? O'Neill couldn't wait to get a better goalie. So I think for me, Douglas just shades it there for me.
Oh, that was a tough one. And I think Gould actually took it with the viewers there, to be fair. So if that went to a tiebreaker, it would have been Jonathan Gould. But Big Rab Douglas still has the jersey, Paddy. And up against him now is David Marshall. David Marshall or Robert Douglas? Who are you picking and why?
I'm gonna go back to Big Rab on this one. David Marshall, decent goalkeeper, one fantastic performance in Barcelona, but that for me doesn't merit enough. I think over the course of the number of games that they played, I think Rab was a far more reliable, dependable goalkeeper. So for me, Big Rab.
Okay, Andy.
I'm the same, Big Rab. I think Marshall was a cracking meat keeper. Came in, played that massive game against Barcelona and was an absolute standout.
Yeah.
But the longevity thing for me as well, you know, he was a cracking keeper. I know he went on to play down south with Cardiff and stuff like that and came back with Hibs. But, and obviously for Scotland, played a fair few times for Scotland. Big Rab shades it for me, I think. The whole longevity thing as well, and the big games that he played in as well, massive games. Big Rab, obviously, that run in with going to Seville as well, he was part of that. So, for me, it's Big Rab.
Okay, Michelle?
I've went for the treble and went for Big Rab again. Third time lucky.
Okay, again, it keeps the jersey, Jerry, but who are you going for and why?
Back to Zandy Nazi, this guy stayed there the longest and done better. I thought, Big Rab just shades it again for me. He's maybe a bit the Ulster Vowels, he says, but in the team and Martin O'Neill's team, one of the best teams we loved. So, I'll stick to Big Rab in this one again. So we'll start.
Okay. So, Big Roberto still has the jersey. Paddy, you might recognise this guy. He's now up against Packy Bonner. Robert Douglas or Packy Bonner, Paddy. Now, we know you've got history here. You know, no picking your Irishmen. So, let's see who he goes with here.
I don't have to travel for a week or two, so I might be all right with it. Listen, two absolute legends for Celtic, two cracking goalkeepers. Big Packy Bonner, when I was growing up, I remember him making his debut and But do you know, I think over the course, I think Big Packy was a better Irish goalkeeper than he was a Celtic goalkeeper. So I'm going to go for Big Rob again.
Oh, you're never getting back in that boat, man. Never.
He's a VAR.
Paddy Bonner or Robert Douglas, sir?
I think Paddy's got a great point there. I think he was a better Irish goalkeeper, but I was I never started out as a goalkeeper. I ended up as a goalkeeper. Maybe that says a lot about my play ability. You know, I actually was a no bad keeper, but it was a kind of hero of mine, kind of growing up. You know, Packy, and I think he had a mistake in him, a bit like Rob as well. I'm going to go with Packy. I'm going to go with Packy Bonner.
Yeah, I think another thing as well, Andy, is that goalkeepers have changed over the years as well, haven't they? Since we were boys to what they are now as well. So I think that comes into the equation as well. You know, he could pick the ball up and get passed back to him, pick it up, and the game's totally changed now. So goalkeepers are totally different as well. So it's quite a fascinating debate, this one. Michelle, I'm sure you won't remember them, but
for some reason, something's sticking out in my mind because I've said for Packy Bonner, due to the sheer amount of appearances he's made in Celtic and his loyalty to Celtic over the years, amount of years he was a goalkeeper, so I went for that. Loyalty and appearances. Packy Bonner.
Jerry, are you taking it to a tiebreaker, sir, or are you giving Paddy Bonner the number 1 jersey?
I'm a bit with Paddy on this one. I think the Irish thing, the saving the penalty, World Cup and all that gets him up there. I'm looking back at the Rangers games when I was younger.
Yeah.
Just that McCoy was fucking skiffing things in by Paddy. Honest, going for things and dropping the ball and all that. Against the big games, the Rangers games. So to me, I'm just going to shade it with Douglas or Packy. I think big games wise, I don't think it was great big goalie, but I just don't know. Just keep my 90s heat on here, my 80s. I'm just go with Douglas. Stick with Douglas.
Okay. So this is the first one that goes to the viewers, and I've been keeping an eye on it, and definitely the standout one out of the both of them is Packy Bonner. So the viewers have decided it. Packy Bonner now has the number 1 jersey, ladies and gentlemen. So the viewers have decided that one.
Yep.
And next up, Packy Bonner will now take on Craig Gordon. Craig Gordon or Packy Bonner, Paddy, and why?
I'll never be in Donegal again. Again, I'm sorry, I have to apologise, but it has to be Craig Gordon for me. You know, fantastic keeper. The trophies, the medals, the saves in big games. You know, just a winner. A fantastic servant for us as well. You know, and again, as you said, Scott, you know, I couldn't imagine Pat Bonner with the ball at his feet. I just couldn't. I could never imagine Pat Bonner in the modern game.
Yeah.
So for me, it has to be Craig Gordon.
Yep. Andy?
I agree with Paddy. I think overall he was a better keeper. I think he was a better shot stopper. Really good keeper for us, considering the position he was in when he came to us. You know, his career was almost over.
Yeah.
And he came in and done a really good job for us. No matter what you think of him now, you think he's a bit of an arsehole now, you know. But at the time when he was at Celtic, I think he came in and done a really good job. And and I don't really like doing this to Bonner, but I think Gordon's a better keeper.
Yeah, like we said, they've evolved over the years as well. And Michelle, Pat Bonner or Craig Gordon?
I've went for Craig Gordon. I just think his experience with Celtic, his leadership, and just his strongness as a keeper and stuff like that. I don't like his attitude anymore either. I just feel like since he's left us, just games after games, you've just seen him. He just seems to be a nitpicky, moany little shit. But yeah, Craig Gordon. Pretty much. Not going to lie, I'll put it right in there.
Craig Gordon's got the jersey, Jerry, but who are you picking out of those two, pal, and why?
go to stick to the football side of it. Craig Gordon, great big goalie, but do you say last few years, like, do you know Scalp Edward with the ball or something, remember?
Aye.
Remember? I Scalp
Aye.
he turned-
Panenka him, didn't he? And he didn't like it.
Aye, but he scalped him with the ball. So wee things like that, he's changed, but we're going on football solely here, so aye, great, but he has a cracking big goalie, and I think he's come back for as well. The injuries are breaking legs, still playing into 42.
Yeah.
Still playing.
Paddy's been
Gordon.
filling us all the time.
Aye, big Gordon for me, mate.
Okay. Craig Gordon.
I feel like
has-
Craig Gordon would be the face of menopause if menopause was a main thing. I'm not gonna
So
lie.
there's 4 goalkeepers to come that Craig Gordon has to try and beat off. And first up for him, Paddy, is Joe Hart. So Scotland versus England. You've let the Irish down, Paddy. Don't let the Scots down now. I mean, is it Craig Gordon or is it Joe Hart?
For me, it's Joe Hart. Absolute no-brainer. I know Craig Gordon achieved a lot more with ourselves, but Joe Hart just completely revitalised that position for us when we so badly needed it. You know, we had just replaced that guy, the Greek guy. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Barkas. And to go from Barkas to Joe Hart, such a crucial signing for Big Ange. A lot of the success that we are having now was based on Big Ange getting it right there. And for me, it's just a no-brainer. Craig Gordon, good goalkeeper, did great stuff for us. Won medals, won trophies, but Joe Hart for me was just on a different level as a goalkeeper. 75, 76 caps for England. You don't get that unless you're a top-class goalkeeper.
Okay. Very mixed on the comments so far, Andy. Who are you going for, mate, and why?
First, I just want to say to Michelle, this is a face of male menopause, no Craig Gordon.
I've dealt with your menopause all week. Way back home to the wife.
Right. Okay. I'm going to surprisingly enough, I'm going to go with Craig Gordon here. Listen, I know Joe Hart's had a big international career and played in big games and stuff. I just want to put the point across that if we never had such a connection with the Celtic fans, would we feel the same about him being such a good goalkeeper? I think you look at his ability. I think he had a good save on him, but he had quite a few clangers in there, especially type of football Ange was wanting to play, and Brendan as well. Where you know that the ball's coming to his feet. He's a panic merchant, and no pun intended, but at times he gave me a heart attack when the ball went back to him. I think he had quite a few clangers in it. He's a keeper that I've never really kind of took to be honest with you. I totally get it. He loves the club and the fans got on brilliant with him, but as ability-wise, as a goalkeeper, I think Craig Gordon beats him on that.
So it's one each so far for Craig Gordon and Joe Hart. It's very, very close on the comments as well, by the way. Michelle, you have the option to take it 2-1 either way. Who are you going for and why?
I've went for Joe Hart due to the fact that just how much he's been dedicated with Celtic and after Celtic. I'm kind of agree with Andy says where I feel like Craig Gordon probably is the better goalkeeper, but I just feel that Joe Hart is just all round good guy and stuff before and after. So yeah, for the fact that he's been there for us after Celtic, with Joe Hart.
Okay, Jerry, are you taking this to the viewers again, mate? Or are you sticking with Michelle and Paddy and going with Joe Hart?
We're not here to care these guys do with who fans is only and who try to date with how good they are at the position. So I'm trying to. Joe Hart did come and he took over the fans loved him, and Craig Gordon's just that guy. He's just quite dreary, but let's be honest here, he's a cracking big goalie. So I'm kind of, do you know, I don't even know what to do. Feels as if I go to always be last, aye. Paddy first, me last. So I'm trying to go and just know who's loved me, the fans, and who. I love Big Joe Hart because he came, as Andy said, Paddy came at the right time. podcast fucking hopeless, man. But I don't know. I'm going to stick with Gordon on this one. I'm going to stick with the goalkeeper side of it. Some of the saves Gordon's done, I've watched some tremendous goalkeeping. So I'm just slightly sticking with Gordon. So
Brilliant.
very tight.
See, this is why I love this segment, by the way.
It's a country again. It's a
2 each again, so it goes to the viewers, and I have been counting them up as we go along. And the man who just shades it, by the way, is Joe Hart.
Yes.
So Joe Hart shades it. He's up against 3 other goalkeepers now, and is he going to keep that number 1 jersey? He's now up against Patrick, Kasper Schmeichel.
I remember you asked us this question on Friday night, Scott, it would have been different. After that mistake, you're like...
So, Joe Hart or Kasper Schmeichel for you, Paddy?
Do you know what? I love the both of them. I love what both of them have done for us. But I'm just going on pure goalkeeping ability and the way the modern game goes. I'm going to go for Kasper Schmeichel because I think he's just better with the ball at his feet than Big Joe. I think he plays like a number 6 when the ball's on the ground. Whereas, as Jerry says and Andy said, Joe got a bit panicky with the ball at his feet. 2 fantastic servants, Joe Hart. Nobody can ever deny the job that he done and the way he transformed the possession. But for me, purely just on ability compared to the modern game, one mistake on Saturday, we're never going to hold that against him. But for me, it's Kasper Schmeichel.
Jerry, Andy's moved your positions, mate, so you've not got that, that big decision to make. Is it an easy one for you?
I was getting on. I was enjoying that stress there. No. Listen, Kasper, all day long, mate. Joe done a good job in Gordon. But they're talking about Guy here now. Maybe since he came back his wee injury, he's kind of not been the same. But listen, he started well. The season he's had, look at the full season. What would be Schmeichel? He's got everything the modern game's got for a goalie. No danger. Kasper for me, mate.
Okay. Michelle, Kasper Schmeichel or Joe Hart?
Kasper Schmeichel, kind of similar to Paddy's reasons, more comfortable on the ball with his feet, etc. More so the clean sheet record for us this season just can't go wrong. Great goalkeeper, great guy. Horrible mistake on Saturday, but he'll come back and recover from it next season, get stronger.
Okay. Andy, Kasper's got the jersey, mate, but are you changing your mind and going with Joe, or are you keeping Kasper clean sweep?
That's just a daft question. I think Kasper's first season, you can see right away the difference. I think with ability, but particularly with the ball at his feet, especially the kind of the early stages of the season, or certainly the first half of the season. Having him at the back receiving the ball, you're comfortable. I think the defence have been very comfortable as well, particularly at that time. You could see it. There was no real panic there because he had the ability to deal with the ball. His distribution was very good. Still, it's very good. We kind of look at the performance at the weekend and kind of Tari's whole Celtic journey so far with that one kind of thing. You could say maybe his performances have kind of dwindled away a wee bit before his injury, and obviously this injury is going to be playing on his mind as well. So fingers crossed we get him back next season, and he's at 100%. I think it's a pretty easy decision to make, and it's not just my thoughts on Joe Hart. I think it's quite clear to see the difference between the two of them. And again, when you're talking about Joe Hart now and getting the fans and getting the club, here's another guy that gets it on. Not just him, but his dad as well. As a fully paid member of the Celtic fan club now as well. They really get the club. So, Kasper takes that jersey.
Okay. Patrick, Kasper Schmeichel takes the jersey. He's got 2 more goalkeepers to try and fight off.
Yep.
And first up is Fraser Foster. Now, if you're going with the same logic, ladies and gentlemen, about people with the ball at their feet, then you can't be picking Fraser Foster, but is he better in every other department? Kasper Schmeichel or Fraser Foster? Paddy?
No, for me, Kasper Schmeichel again. Big Foster, cracking big goalkeeper, but probably, it's fair to say that he probably, he's won more, but Kasper's only been here for one season. But for me, big Fraser Foster, for such a big guy, he didn't dominate his box the way he should do. He stayed under his crossbar far too much, didn't come out and pluck crosses out. I just think again with it, he wasn't the most comfortable with the ball at his feet. So for me, it's a fairly easy one. I love the big guy, I love big Foster, cracking big goalkeeper, but for me, it's Kasper Schmeichel.
Kasper Schmeichel. Jerry, is it Kasper Schmeichel or is it big Fraser Foster?
No, straight to the point, mate. No, I'm sticking with Kasper. Same, just nods it again. Modern day goalkeeper. He's got everything. Say the mistake in Saturday. Behind me that, it's a great season. He's got everything. He's just one for me, mate.
Okay, so it's 2-0 for Kasper Schmeichel. I haven't seen one person in the comments pick Kasper Schmeichel, believe it or not. But Michelle, are you sticking with Schmeichel, or are you going to go the other way and go with big Fraser Foster?
I'm with the team. I'm back with Kasper as well.
Okay. So Andy, Kasper keeps the jersey, but the listeners all disagree by the looks of things. Who are you picking, mate, and why?
I'm going to go with big Fraser. And the reason why is he played in a different era when we were playing different type of football, so it wasn't about his feet with him.
Yeah.
So he did the goalkeeper's job. Some of the saves that he made was just unbelievable. That League Cup final that he basically won himself. You've also got a game where the Barcelona called him the Great Wall. They couldn't get anything by him. But various other performances, it was unbeatable at times. And the reason why I went for Kasper was that added part that he could play with the ball at his feet. I think it doesn't really come into it before start. It was a different type of football we were playing there. It wasn't ball at his feet. It didn't really come into it. And I think it was just an immense goalkeeper for us. Many times did he come to us? 2 or 3 times, wasn't it? It was raised. I'm going to go with big Fraser on this. I know I'm in the minority in the panel, but it's just the way I feel about it. I think he's better. Right?
Yeah, I'm quite surprised about that, to be fair, as well. I would have went with Fraser Foster, but Kasper Schmeichel keeps the jersey. There's only one more goalie to go, and it is the holy goalie himself. Kasper Schmeichel or Artur Boruc? Paddy, who are you going for and why?
Tough one that again. Big Artur, cracking goalkeeper. You know what? I'm going to stick with Kasper Schmeichel. I just have to stick with Kasper. I just think he's an all-round better goalkeeper than big Artur. I think Artur definitely cracking big goalkeeper, but Boruc had a mistake in him. Kasper's made one mistake really this season. So for me, I'm just going to stick with Kasper Schmeichel.
Okay. Jerry?
Me, holy goalie all day long, man. For me, cracking goalie. It's Fiorentina, so great career. He could have, if his attitude was better, he could have been up with the top goalkeepers in the world. If Big Boruc was his heat screwed on. The guy was just a nutcase, man. And what a goalie. Well, let's be honest here. You've got to be a nutcase to have a goalie anyway. You know what I mean? So that's but no, for me, he could have been in the top 5 goalies in the world if he was a brilliant goalie behind. His attitude, man, just sit and smoke. Well, you know what? Just a great big goalie for me. I loved him. Boruc gets an odd for me.
Okay. Michelle, it is 1-1 again. Kasper's got 1 vote. The holy goalie has 1. Which way are you going? Which way are you going to tip it before Andy gets his say?
I went for the holy goalie. I just feel like we've seen a scene worth a Schmeichel, but to me, not enough compared to what I witnessed with Arthur. I just feel like he was such a strong goalkeeper for us, and everything he done was just, most time flawless. So yeah, Arthur Bortlich.
Okay. And Andy, are you taking this to a decider for the viewers who have definitely swung it one way again by the looks of things? Who are you going for, mate, and why?
Going for Boric. Absolute screwball. Bonkers. Didn't give a shit. Hated the Huns.
Yeah.
But his ability was just amazing, Obviously, comparing them with Casper, you've got the longevity thing as well, obviously. But we've seen Mary Boric than what we've seen in Casper. I think overall, for me, Boric is a better keeper. You've got to be additives, obviously. You have got to be a bit bonkers. I seen him on a night out once, and just the guy just floated about like he fucking owned the place, and it was great to see because he just didn't care, And as Jerry was talking about, puffed away. Now, didn't he? You want to think he was a professional football player. I think if he really put his mind to it, he could have been an absolute world superstar. Yeah. We'd certainly had the ability to do that. But listen, they say it all.
Strachan said he was in the top 3 in the world when he signed him.
Yeah.
When he was at Celtic, he said he was amazing, that good.
Aye, I think that particular period. Again, I was talking about Fraser Forster saying he was unbeatable. I think Boric had that in him as well, that he just couldn't. Was it Spartak Moscow? He saved that penalty. Mind, and he's doing the jazz hands after it.
Yeah.
Just big moments with Arthur. Obviously, at Snake Mountain with a flag and refusing to shake hands with him and all that, and you just endear yourself with the Celtic fans with that. Especially not just that, but you've got the ability to back that up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Big Arthur there.
So Big Arthur Boric, the holy goalie, gets the 4 Leaf Clover Podcast #1 jersey. We're going old school on the last man standing as well, so it'll be number 1 to number 11. So getting the #1 jersey is Big Arthur Boric. That was, ladies and gentlemen,
Last man standing.
That was brilliant, Scotty. Brilliant, fantastic.
Right.
I really enjoy that segment. It's fantastic, and it's great to see that a few of them went to deciders, and the viewers got to get involved as well. Thank you so much. Again,
it shows you how difficult it is, when it does decisions to make.
Yeah, and everybody's got an opinion, mate, on it as well, which is great to see. Everybody's, we're all different ages on this podcast as well, with the viewers and on the panel and things like that. It's great to see like Michelle's, input as well, obviously, who didn't see some of these players. And brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So next up on Friday night's podcast, we will be picking our number 2, our right back. It's pretty obvious who it will be, but we'll still go through who our number 2 right back is going to be, and we'll have some fun with that as well. So Paddy, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Pleasure.
Jerry, thank you so much, sir. I hope your hangover wears off by Friday.
Jammies on, lads.
Jammies on.
Jammies on and Mobster. Is it Mobster?
Matchmakers it. Michelle, thank you so much for jumping on as well, pal. I know we had a wee bit of an issue before we came on, but it was great that you managed to get on. And same to yourself, Andy. Great for you to jump on, mate, and catch the first last man standing. Thank you so much, everybody, for your comments this evening. Like we said on the start of the show and on the community page, we will be back with you on Friday night. We'll do Wednesday, Fridays for you all the way through the pre-season. That's us. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tell your pals, like, share and subscribe. And we will see you all on Friday night.
Hail, hail, guys.
Hail, hail.
Someday you will find me.